a simple advert. It's glamorizing how, you'll have a good time, you will feel good. And there's someone somewhere who's been thinking actively, I want to explore. There's someone somewhere who had stopped using, then anaanza kufeel, ni kama nina miss out. Marafiki wangu wote wanaenda isipokuwa nani? Mimi. Isipokuwa Maggie. So what happens, you start feeling mentally it's like you're missing out. FOMO is real. Yes, the FOMO is real. The fear of missing out. 100%.
I know there are parents who watch this podcast and maybe they have a young person who is struggling and they don't know how to tell.
One thing they should be on the lookout for, change of pattern. Either mood, behavior, or what that person does. Then it has changed all of a sudden. They've become very protective of their own things. They don't want you in their space. They don't want you in anything. Most people believe you have to hit rock bottom first for you to get help. No, you don't need to hit rock bottom first to get help.
You're watching Mind-Pursuit podcast, where families get restored, transformed and healed. 'Cause he never ever lose a battle. He never ever lose a battle. God never ever lose a battle. He never ever lose a battle. You're watching Mind-Pursuit podcast, where families get restored, transformed and healed.
What's up, my people? Welcome to the Mind Pursuit podcast. I'm your host, Masin Zuki, the Mind Advocate, and we continue with our conversations on drugs and substance use. If you've just bumped into this particular video and you're yet to see the first episode where we talk about drugs and substance use, I will advise you to pause on this one, go to the first one, get to learn more so that now we can continue together. And while at it, remember to subscribe, share, tell a friend to tell a friend, and keep it locked only at the Mind Pursuit podcast. So karibu.
Thank you.
And we continue with this conversation that is so enlightening because many young people really struggle with drugs and substance use. Yeah? And I know drugs and substance use is such a serious topic. Like very medical by the way, come to think of it. But I really like how you're able to talk about it. So we want to know, who is Maggie? Tell us more. What's your favorite way to relax after a long day?
My favorite way to relax after a long day.
Yes.
Procedurally. I'll get to my house, I'll take a shower, and I'll watch a series. Most times, it will be a movie I've watched. So I'll be doing a rewatch, not a new one. Yes, I'll do a rewatch. It does not matter whether I have watched it 100 times, 10 times. That is my way of decompressing.
Yeah.
And I get to relax the best way possible. If it's on a weekend, be sure I'll be out somewhere, dancing, making noise, being loud, being all over the place, dressed like I am going to see,
Looking the part.
Looking the part. That would be me. But on a normal day, Monday to Friday, when I'm after work, I'll just watch a series. On weekend, I'll be out there loud, living life. Yes. My policy in life is living boldly. So I'll do that.
Yes. That's really dope. What's the series that you're currently watching?
I was redoing Night Agent because they're supposed to release one the 19th. So I was catching up, reminding myself the season 2 where it ended. So I'm up to date. I can't wait for 19th.
You are a loyal fan. That's good. So coffee, tea, or neither?
Tea.
Always. Tea,
always, and I love the tea leaves boiled on water. I don't like the tea bags because I always feel that tea leaf is
haionji chai.
Si rich. Mimi nataka chai imechemka vizuri
kabisa. African tea. Hapo tuko the same. I feel you. One book, movie, or podcast that changed you can tell us, what's one book, movie, or podcast that changed your perspective about life?
A movie that changed my perspective about life. It's Me Before You. He movie my sister akinikuta nikiwatch,
Yes.
she's always like, not again, not again. Because one of the key things that movie taught me is the complexity of life. How life can change at the span of time. Because the man was a well-known, very good athlete. Then one morning, headed to work, is hit by a motorbike and they can't walk. And they're in a wheelchair, they have to be taken care of. And it also taught me the ability to learn, to be patient with yourself, to deal with the loss, the ability to incorporate other people in your space. So for me, that movie holds a very dear space. For a book, I'm a lover of several books. Among them, Brené Brown. I love her books all the time. Daring Greatly. And I quote The Man in the Arena. That quote, when she starts that book, takes the day for me. When every time she tells me, the credit doesn't go to the people outside, it goes to the man in the arena.
Absolutely.
Whose face, even when they are mad, you know, they still are able to lift themselves and they dare greatly.
Yes.
That, and I'm currently reading The Gifts of Imperfection, but still by Brené Brown.
Oh, that's a cool one. I should
I
read
love
that
it.
as
Talks
well.
about shame, demystifies things about shame, and talks about how you can love yourself unconditionally. I love it. Then the other person I love is Robin Sharma. I've done his book, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. Then I took The Secret Letters from the Monk Who Loved His Ferrari, and I love the lessons. I call them the books you don't read overnight. I pick the lessons in needful seasons and times in my life. So those are the books I'd say have informed me.
Oh, wow.
But I also read fiction here and there. Yes.
Wow, I really love what you're picking. I can relate. Oh my God, gems on gems. I love Brené Brown. Always. If you weren't an addiction counselor, like you are not a psychologist completely, what would you be doing?
I'd be a marketer.
Ooh.
I would be a marketer any day, anytime. Even now, I still believe I'm a marketer.
Wow.
I can sell anything, I can promote anything. I don't need to have interacted with it. I just have to have made a connection with the thing, and I will sell it, I will market it. I'll just need to show up as myself. Yes.
Hey, self-awareness galore. That's nice. The last one. What's one habit or routine that keeps you grounded every day?
Journaling. I journal a lot. I write and write. It's a thing. I remember when I was young, my father used to be annoying with my writing, because I used to be a big writer. So my exercise book, 3 words inajaza kitabu. So over time I had to minimize my writing. But what writing does to me, because I love centering my thoughts, it helps structure what I'm thinking. It helps identify patterns. It helps identify blind spots, and even helps me in drafting, copying ways for myself. So most times I will put things down. Even when I'm having the most difficult day, that day I have to put it down so that I can look at it at some point and identify what could have been done different.
And this is a practice that you started even when you were younger.
Yes, but that time I didn't know it was journaling. I just write things. And my parents used to mtoto anaandikanga tu. But I love writing. So I love pens. I'm a hoarder of pens. Even in my handbag, I have a whole pouch with pens that never come to an end.
Tunasemanga, the more things change, the more they remain the same.
Exactly. Now you get 100%. Yes.
Oh, wow. That's really cool. Thank you so much, Maggie. And I want to take a deep dive into understanding prevention and even early intervention for anyone who maybe could be a casual drinker, but is slowly going into addiction. Yeah. So I would want to ask you, what are the subtle red flags in young adults that people might miss, but could be signals of early substance misuse? Yeah.
Subtle, I'd give several subtle signs that at times we miss. Change in our sleep patterns, missing appointments. At times they are not taken as big things, but you see the consistency in which you miss these things now highlight that there is a problem. When you find yourself, you are supposed to have shown up for a major appointment, you didn't. The reason? Because either you are hangovered or because of your drug of choice. Those are subtle signs that at times people never get to use them. The other subtle sign I'd give, those are for people who find themselves binging. I don't use, but on the weekend I use. It's havoc. Everything is turned around, but I'll stay another 1 year. I haven't used. But the moment I touch, things get chaotic. So those are some of the subtle signs I'll give, and especially for people, because people never see them as a red flag. You know, the way we say in relationships, the flag wasn't red, it looked pink, the pink wasn't pinking, you know. It's the same when it comes to substance. At times we dismiss them because they are not a major thing. Mercy, you know, sometimes 2 or 3 times she's missing. 3, 4, 5 days in the week, she's struggling to sleep. And when we look deeper,
tunasema hiyo ni kawaida yake.
Yes, but when we look deeper, it is the substance. And you remember when we talked about how the substance addiction progresses? Now this is the same thing that will happen to the signs. They will no longer start hiding. Then the other thing that will happen is the lying. It starts subtly. You are asked, what happened last weekend? You come up with a lie. Eventually, that lie becomes your truth. Yes.
You're watching Mind Password Podcast.
So how can friends or even family step in without being that annoying adult? Cause watu blokiwa huko nje, like, you know, you're trying to like tell them in a nice way, but they're like, wanakublock, cancel. Yeah, so how can friends or even family step in without being that annoying adults?
Annoying adults? You remember when we were talking about how we look at substance and we are looking at them from a moral lens, right? So most times when family are coming to intervene, the challenge they have is coming from a moral lens. You should stop this. Why are you doing this? You know it is wrong. It is reflecting bad on our family. The reputation, you know, you make us look bad, right? So when you're doing that conversation, what will that person do? Be defensive. They'll be like, it is my life. Why are you interfering with it? Why are you telling me to stop? It is my life. But when you come from a point whereby you're creating a safe space and it's not about you, it is about them, more it will sound like I have noticed, where we are not using we as a family. No, I have noticed of late there has been this and that happening, and most times assertive communication, where you put your needs and the other person needs into perspective to help see how then do we navigate, and also asking them, how can I be able to support? How can I offer support to you? And at times when you notice they are not willing, you cannot always leave. When you need help, no, I'm able to support. I'm just a call away, or I can give you alternatives of people you can talk to. That makes them not feel judged. That makes them feel seen, because every time you make them feel like they're judged, it's like if someone exposes your nakedness, the first thing you do, you want to cover, because I don't want to be seen. Why would you want to see me? And most times you will notice someone is struggling even to themselves to admit that that is a problem they are going through. So when you come attacking them, of course they will defend themselves. So when you create an environment where you make them feel seen, understood, and even when you see that leeway is not working, you can offer an alternative. I'm always available if you need my help. Let me know when we can have this conversation. If not me, these are sources you can look into and then be able to support you. Yes.
Oh wow. So to see force issues,
Upon.
Wow.
That's how we lose people, actually. And I think I'd given an example earlier with my uncle. He struggled with addiction for a long time. Was it a hard thing for me? Yes. Had it been to rehab, not once, not twice, actually 8 countable times he has been to rehab. Hospitalized uncountable times. And we lost him to alcohol. Yes. And the sad bit was every time there was always that battle within. He'd call and you'd feel how helpless he is, right? And at times there is a complexity of addiction that people never get to understand. Like for me, we'd have conversations of how smart he is. You are a curious scientist. You can do so many things, but you remember the brain chemistry. You remember you trying to be honest with yourself, creating the discipline to deal with your triggers. And triggers, maybe to help them understand, these are things that can make you use. And we have internal triggers, we have external triggers. External triggers are like people, places, and things. If I see Mercy, we use together. If I go to a certain joint, I see a club there, I'll be using. Things, it could be paraphernalia. I'm singing a song and Jay-Z is there smoking a cigar. Then I find the need to use. You get? Then there's also the internal states. I'm struggling with who I am. I'm struggling with myself. To feel better, I find myself doing what? Numbing, right? And at times that's a challenge. Most people who offer support never understand. What is this person struggling with? How bad is it? And that's now where you hear stigma comes in. The moral and the health lens. And that's why it becomes difficult to even offer the support.
Wow. Thank you so much for that. Wow. Are there situations like either work stress, parties, online pressure that make young people more likely to try substances? And maybe in this context, let's stay with the online pressure. Are there situations like online pressure that makes young people more likely to try substances?
Yes.
And how does that look like? Paint it out for us.
Yes, we call them high-risk situations.
Okay.
What are high-risk situations? High-risk situations are situations that make it more likely for someone to use a substance. What would a more likely situation look like? A simple advert that makes it look very normal for people to use. It's glamorizing how you'll have a good time, you will feel good, and there's someone somewhere who's been thinking actively, I want to explore. There's someone somewhere who had stopped using, then anaanza kufeel ni kama nina miss out. Unaona ile peer pressure in your group circle, unasikia let me use the latest example. Kuna event ina happen, right? Hiyo event ina happen, marafiki wangu wote wanaenda isipokuwa nani? Mimi. Isipokuwa Maggie. So what happens? You start feeling mentally it's like you're missing out. FOMO is real. Yes, the FOMO is real. The fear of missing out 100%. So eventually you find yourself using because that's a high risk situation, right? And I want to distinguish between a high risk situation for someone who is not using and someone who is in addiction. If you're not using, unakumbuka tukisema you have the control, na kuna huyu mtu mwingine mwenye control iko kwa wapi? The drug is controlling, and that's why it becomes a high risk situation. So if they are in there, they won't be able to get themselves out. The other high risk situation that happens is when you're having parties, either at work, event parties. Let's use end of year parties, or there is a party to launch a product or anything. You're struggling there. Every of your colleague is, toasting to a glass of wine, and you want to show the part. Mimi na ribungu hii vibe, hata mimi lazima nitoke.
You have to keep the vibe alive.
I have to keep the vibe alive. But for you, remember, it is a problem. And that's one thing I want us people to understand. When every other person is using, how the drug interacts with them is not the same way it will interact with you. There's someone who can use ear in, ear out. Kosawa. Then there's maybe you use and things don't work out. You become dependent. Because that's how we distinguish addiction. Things around you are not working. Relationship, work, your own life is in shambles. Your emotions, yourself. Kabisa. So that is what. The other thing is people in high stress functioning environment. Now of late tumekuwa tukiona the advocacy towards workplace mental health because of the stress, the burnout. There's someone because of the high pressure. You had a very demanding job and because you need to cope, you had a very tough day, you want to let the pressure go. So you find yourself umeenda umesikiza kamziki kako chupa moja mbili ama joint kako kamoja umeweka vizuri, eventually you're coping negatively instead of positively. Yes.
Oh, wow. Thank you. That is real. And maybe I can ask you, because I know there are parents who watch this podcast, and maybe they have a young person who is struggling, and they don't know how to tell if this young person is actually struggling with drugs and substance use. What is it that what's one thing that you can tell a parent listening to you? What should they be? What should they be on the lookout for? One thing.
One thing they should be on the lookout for: change of pattern. Change of pattern, either mood, behavior, or what that person does. Then it has changed all of a sudden. They used to do these things, that thing has maybe let me give you a simple example. You had a young adult who are interested in a hobby, all of a sudden they're not showing interest on it. They are lying on simple things that as a parent you look and you're wondering, why would they lie about it? They've become very protective of their own things. They don't want you in their space, they don't want you in anything. Yes, that is what I'd say. In short, change of pattern.
Oh, change of pattern.
Yes.
Oh, thank you for that.
You're watching Mind Pursuit Podcast.
Peer pressure is real, and I like how you've been able to paint it out. Like fear of missing out, FOMO, is real, and it cuts across all population. Hata wazai bado wana struggle na keeping up with the Joneses, yeah?
Yes.
So how can someone navigate it without losing friendship or their own boundaries?
I'll use my own example.
Yes.
As someone who is extremely extroverted.
Yes.
Do I struggle with FOMO? Even at my age, of course. I'm wondering, kama saa hii watu walienda Kikuyu Love Sessions. Niko huku najiuliza, my God, Maki, ulikuwa wapi? Na hiyo kitu inaweza fanya usikie kama unachizi. So one of the things I've learned to do is learn to ground myself. I'll do things that make me feel good about myself at that particular point. First, I'm aware. FOMO distorts me. That I am aware.
Yeah.
I know I love being outside.
Yes.
And I love doing things. That is the first starting point. Being aware of myself. So I know things that would make me go out of the ordinary. So starting point, I am aware. So 2, I draft things within that time frame. So that weekend, what will I do? I will engage in things that entertain me. So I'll look for either going out, having a good time with my friends, watching a movie, reading a book, things that entertain me, trying new things that I'll do. Then I'll limit my time in getting updates of what is happening there. So I will intentionally block my social media timeline. So that I don't, because you see, the more you're feeding your brain, how does the brain work? It's like you've never seen a red car. Then someone tells you about a red car. You live here, you will see red cars all over, and you're wondering, Kai, kwa nini sijaiona hizi gari za red za Harrier? Kumbe zinakuanga. Si ati hazikuwa. Someone has brought them to your awareness. So it's the same concept. So if that could happen, then that would be great. Because when you do that, when you're aware of yourself, you're aware how will I cope in those situations where I know I shouldn't participate, but I'm feeling the need to have the coping skills with you, then you can use them. And at times when it gets extremely overwhelming, I use my grounding techniques. Most times I'll sit with myself, I'll breathe in, or I'll try to identify what's the texture of this pillow. So I'm distracting my thoughts from what is happening to bringing myself to the present.
Wow.
So that's what I'll do. So that's what I'd advocate.
Oh, wow. Yes. Self-awareness is important.
Kabisa.
Thank you for that. So what's one daily habit or routine young people could adapt to protect themselves from falling into risky patterns?
That's a very good question. Very good question. You know why? Because, and I'll relate it to substance use and addiction, The routine is very important. Structure is very important in preventing drug and substance use. Does it mean it makes the process easier? No, but it helps your brain to have sequences. It's just like you used to. When I wake up, the first thing I do, either there are those who go to the washroom, there are those who go get a glass of water, there are those who sit, admire, take a few minutes. So when you have that structure, it helps your brain to adjust to things easier. So it gives yourself an opportunity to adjust through those situations. So when you have a structure and a routine, it helps you to navigate risky situations, because if you've taught your brain that I need to learn delayed gratification, I'm saying that because that's one of the hardest thing when it comes to substance use, because when you want your substance, you want it instant and you get it. So when we talk about delayed gratification, is whereby you can hold, you don't take it now, you can take it later. By the time later inafika, hautaki. Ni kama us women or any gender. You want something, impulse buying. Let me use that example. Nimepita kwa street, nikaona nguo iko kwa budget yangu. Ninajiambia kesho nikipita niipate nitanunua. Kesho utakuta huyo hoka.
Kweli.
Sasa hiyo need ya kununua haitakuwa. So when you have routines create structure, and when your mind has a structure, it is easier for you, and scientific studies have shown it makes you navigate the challenges better.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. So how do mental health challenges like anxiety or depression mix with addiction risk? And maybe you can define in layman what is anxiety and what is depression. Maybe start from there.
Good question. Anxiety, most times in layman, I always call it the excessive worry. Worry, you can't, let it go. Depression is whereby you are having sadness over a prolonged period of time, and most times it's more than 14 days, right? So let's bring substance abuse. How do they make it worse? Now, when you're using substances, and I'll want to use alcohol in particular, people will use alcohol because anataka ku elevate mood zake. But alcohol in its own ita depress. That's why utakuta watu walikunywa saa 7 ikifika
hangover,
wako chini. Tuko pamoja. So instead of making the depression better, it worsens it. And that's why sometimes utakuta watu, kwa sababu one of the symptoms of depression, loss of interest, isolation, increase in substance use inakuanga one of the symptoms kwa mtu ana struggle na depression, right? Kuna mtu ata struggle na suicidal thoughts. So hizi symptoms zitawasen. Tuko pamoja. That is why utapata mtu anatumia. Ni kama mtu anatumia weed avoid painful emotions. Ati anatry kunumb emotions. They make their anxiety worse. That's why you'll hear people wako na paranoia. Unaona anaanza kusema anakimbizwa na askari. Anasikia vitu, anaona vitu, when in reality those things are not happening. It is the drug that has made it worse. Therefore, it affects your mental health.
Wow, you've said it so well. And maybe you can share with us an example where early interventions really changed the outcome of someone in your line of experience. Yeah, can you be able to share that?
That's an interesting one. It makes me remember.
Yes.
Recently, someone called me after a long time, and they tell me, Maggie, how are you? Good. We've not spoken. I just wanted to tell you I'm 1 year sober.
Wow.
And when I remember, where in relation to your question of early intervention,
yes.
And when I talk about early intervention, I want people to understand it is at the point whereby we are just seeing the symptoms. It's a point whereby we are starting to see something is not okay. They've not yet hit rock bottom. Because the reason I'm highlighting that is because most people believe you have to hit rock bottom first for you to get help. No, you don't need to hit rock bottom first to get help. When that early intervention happens, you are able to prevent legal issues. You are able to prevent this person and protect their future. You are able to protect their health. And I've seen so many young people, because I've dealt with 15-year-olds, 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds. My oldest client has been 77 years in addiction. And one of the key things that has stood out in early intervention is helping that person get one thing: insight. And what is insight? Understanding what addiction is, understanding how it affects them, and understanding at the point they are why it is important for them to have help. Because if you continue, you find yourself at the end of the line, which is the addiction, right? And that has worked, because I've seen students being able to finish school even when they had been on and out. They're sent for counseling sessions because either they've missed an exam, either they've been found high in school premises, and for adults at time they've been sent by their employer to come and get counseling sessions. That intervention helps them to pick themselves up. And remember, when we said help is available, that help helps to hold them, and they're able to get back and do what is needed.
Wow. And lastly, if I notice a friend heading in the wrong direction, what's a low-key but effective way to help?
Low-key and effective help, way to help. Keyword you used is a friend. And most times I want people to understand, when we talk about friends, these are people we have honest, difficult, tough conversations with. So when we are having that conversation, among the way I encourage people is to have a feedback forum whereby we share feedback. And when we are sharing feedback, is I can highlight, just like you can be given feedback and you share to them. I've noticed of late you've been missing, or this has been happening. Maybe what is happening? How can I step in? Is there a challenge? And because of the friendship, keyword a friend, you'd be able to have space whereby they can honestly and genuinely share what is happening. Then from what they share, you can see what would be the best way to approach the issue and how can you be able to support them.
So it's not linear.
No, it's not linear. The challenge with substance abuse, there is no one way
to
you tailor make based on the need on ground. Yes.
Wow. Wealth of wisdom and knowledge. And one thing that has stayed with me is awareness. Do you know yourself? Even if you're watching us and you're maybe struggling with drugs and substance use, do you know your triggers? Something for you to think about. And I hope you will still keep it locked, because this conversation is continuing in the next episode. Feel free to comment below. What are you learning? What is it that you would want to know more from Maggie? Yeah? And we'll for sure be able to respond to you. So keep it locked. Remember to subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. And if you are watching, this is the very first episode you've watched on the Mind Pursuit podcast. Now, I will encourage you to click on you see the end script. It's a link actually that is there. So you can click on it and be able to watch all the episodes that we've been able to record since last year. Remember to subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye. Adios.
Adios.